Now, happy Friday, y'all. Is it my turn? Okay, that was like the longest intro. July Fitters Together Challenge is getting in more steps. And our cheerleader this month, food and fitness expert, Conchita Thomas. Good morning, my friend. Good to see you.
Good morning. Good to see you.
Okay, so first of all, thank you for all the work you've been doing in the group. But let's talk strategy. What is a reasonable goal to set on the daily, and how are we going to try to achieve it when it comes to just getting more steps in the day?
Well, when it comes to a reasonable goal, you just said it. Better is the first step. I know a lot of you have heard that you need 10,000 steps a day, and that is a good aim, 10 to 20,000, even if you're a city dweller, for an ultimate goal. But if you track how much you normally walk and discover that it's something like 2,000 or 3,000 steps, 4,000 or 5,000 may be your first stop in terms of a goal.
Yeah, so just getting more in. And I know a lot of people in the group, especially, right? We got a lot of excuses, right, not to walk. It's hot outside. We got mosquitoes. It might rain. I'm busy. I'm tired. How are you going to convince me to get up and get moving?
Well, by telling you that you don't have to go outside to walk. I posted in the group the other day that I cleaned my garage and I smashed my step goal before noon. So moving around, activities of daily living help. Dance parties, so put on your favorite line dance music and do that. And my favorite secret strategy is walk and talk. If you call me socially, you can bet that when I pick up the phone, I get up and I start walking until the conversation is over. You'd be surprised how many steps you can accumulate that way.
You know, I talk to my mom on the phone every day, and that's what I do. When I call her, you know, our conversations are very lengthy, so that's a really great way to get your steps in. For people with knee or back achiness from walking a little more than they're used to, what can they do for relief? Because I want to make sure that we're talking about longevity here as well.
Yes, we'll start first with prevention. So stretching, maybe yoga, warm Epsom salt soaks should be part of the plan from the beginning, even before you get achy. That may prevent becoming achy at all. But if you are, again, stretching, warm soaks, foam rolling is also good with those styrofoam rollers, and you roll out the muscle that's sore. That is very, very effective.
Okay, and you know what? You just gave me a good idea. Maybe we'll do a little bit of stretching of the feet and muscles in the group soon so that we can go over kind of what to do if you have issues there. Conchita, thank you so much. I really appreciate, again, all of your help, and I'll see you in the group.
See you in the group.